My name is Deanne, and I have been a curriculum consultant at Rainbow Resource Center since 2011. More importantly, I homeschooled my children from 1st grade through 12th grade. While I can share many stories about our typical homeschool day, the truth is there was never a typical homeschool day. For my oldest child, learning was natural, little effort on my part or hers. She loved school, and I often felt like I just got in the way of her education. My youngest, on the other hand, struggled in just about every area. We tried many curricula, philosophies, and much prayer. He became fluent in reading at the age of 10, after much blood, sweat, and tears, both his and mine. I share this to encourage you. As you consider teaching your children at home and the incredible responsibility of meeting the needs of a natural learner or a struggling learner, there is hope. If I can do this, you can do this. And with all the new resources available to parents, there is something to help you in the journey. On the flip side, the choices can be daunting, and that is why we are here at Rainbow Resource Center, to help you navigate the options, to find the best resource for your children and your family. Many of us begin our journey into homeschooling by counting the costs. Let me ask you, have you written out a pro and con list? If not, I encourage you to do it. I will take a few minutes to go through common ones, but every family situation is different, and there are many other considerations that you may have. And these won't be on my short list. First, let's look at the cons. Yes, I am a glass half empty person. First is money. This is the first thing that most of us think of. Can I afford to homeschool? The money discussion is multifaceted. Let's take a look at some of these aspects. First is the cost associated with homeschooling. The latest research shows that the average homeschool family spends $1,000 per child for curriculum and activities every year. It is important to remember that this represents families on both ends of the budget. Some can and will spend more. Others may need to be more budget-minded. Here at Rainbow, our mission is to help you find the best option in your budget range. At the end of our video, you will find our contact information. We can help you with this. You may also wish to explore the homeschool charter school option. Each state handles this differently, so be sure to learn more about your state specifics. If you choose to go this route, there may be limitations on what may be purchased with your funds. Another consideration in the money discussion is the impact homeschooling may have on a parent's ability to work. Some parents are able to give up one income for a season to focus on their child's education. Others are not able to afford this option. Sacrifices may need to be made. If you are committed to teaching your children at home, there are some tips that may be helpful. First is co-teach. While one parent works, one teaches, and while the other parent works, the other teaches. Some parents have more flexibility in their career and may be able to work weekends or from home. This may take some creative thinking to find a schedule that will work for you. The beautiful thing about homeschooling is that depending on the age of your children, most of your school day will be completed in 2 to 4 hours. And as they get older, they are able to be more independent in their studies. There are also several student-led independent curriculum available if you are looking for something that your child can do more independently. Many parents find that they are able to work from home or work part-time outside the home and successfully homeschool. You will need more support from your spouse and/or your family, but homeschooling while working is very doable. The second con we often hear is, I am not a teacher. I can't teach my children. First, I want to say I have the utmost respect and admiration for teachers. Before my nursing career, teaching was on my short list of what I wanted to do with my life. However, many of the teachers that I have talked with who made the leap into homeschooling their children have confessed that their education did not prepare them for teaching their own. I share this as an encouragement for non-teachers and for teachers both. Homeschooling will look different than institutional teaching, and that is okay. If you have a teaching degree, allow yourself time to see homeschooling differently. What worked in the classroom may or may not work at home. There are many things learned that may be modified and used successfully at home, but there are other things you will need to let go. If you don't have a teaching degree, let go of the notion that you need a teaching degree to successfully teach your own. Teach yourself. Learn about educational philosophies and learning styles. Websites and books abound. We even offer some free online videos to help you. Whether you have a teaching degree or not, the most important thing to remember is that your children need a mom and a dad. They need someone in their corner making decisions that best serve their individual learning needs, whether they are a gifted learner, average student, or even if they struggle in one or more areas. They need unconditional love and an advocate, someone willing to meet their greatest needs, and there was no one more qualified for this role than a loving, committed parent. While there are many more cons than I have covered, there is one more I want to share. Fear. Yes, fear is the third concern that parents face. Fear that children will not listen, or the fear that they do not have the patience to teach their children. Often these fears go hand in hand. Having patience is most often the biggest drawback for parents of little guys. Little ones can be challenging, that is for sure. But as parents, helping our children to learn how to express emotions, frustrations, and their energy levels are key to managing our patience. Child training takes time, consistency, and love, all things that parents can provide. Countless resources are available to help you, so we won't spend a lot of time on this today. I can honestly say patience was my greatest struggle during the early homeschool days, and I don't take this concern lightly. I remember days spent locked in my bathroom, in tears, praying for strength to face the day and my children. I can tell you from firsthand experience that God does supply. He will meet you in your moment of greatest weakness. Sometimes He infuses supernaturally, but most often He just provides you a support network or a way out. Church, friends, family, even nap and rest time can be your best friend. One thing that always helped me was a dedicated daddy day every month. Dad would take the children to the park or to visit grandparents, giving me 4 to 6 hours of alone time. This was wonderful to refuel this introvert. If you are a single parent, look for friends willing to help you. Create a network. You may even find trading childcare to be a great option to help each one of you have a personal time alone. What about the "my kids won't listen to me" concern? This is a real issue, especially with toddlers and preschoolers. But this is a natural reality for parents. It is part of the process of raising little ones. But most often, this con comes from parents of middle schoolers who fear this will hinder their ability to teach their children at home. If listening is one of your concerns, let me reassure you that there are things you can do at home to improve listening skills. Honestly, all children, and even us adults, have days or situations where we struggle to listen and obey others. We are all a work in progress, and helping our children grow in this area is one of the greatest gifts we can give them. In the elementary years, there may be some issues that extend from the toddler and preschool years, although many elementary children do try to listen to their parents. If you are just starting out homeschooling an elementary child, you will want to allow your child to grieve, even if their overall school experience was negative. School schedules and relationships is all they know, and coming home is different. There are no bells ringing telling them when to change classes. There are no peers to distract, no lunch lines, and there is more free time to do the things they want to do. Rather than sitting in a classroom for 6 hours, they may finish the bookwork in a couple hours and find themselves wondering what to do next. We began homeschooling our oldest in first grade after she finished her year of full-day kindergarten. One would think that just 1 year in a school setting would be an easy transition home. It wasn't. From telling me I wasn't doing things like Mrs. S, to sitting at the end of our driveway in tears waving to the neighbor kids who were walking by on their way to school, she challenged my parenting skills. I quickly learned that I had to prioritize her emotional healing as well as rebuild her social group. Building a social network may be an easy option, or it may take additional effort on the part of the parent, depending on your situation. Local homeschool groups often offer co-ops where families can come together and share teaching duties, giving children the opportunity to learn in a more traditional setting. Other options may include gym classes, church groups, music lessons, and so forth. If you have friends who are homeschooling in your area, be sure to ask them about opportunities. Also, check with your state homeschool organization. They may be a valuable resource to connect you with other homeschoolers in your community. What about a middle school age child? Starting around ages 11 to 13, children gradually become more resistant to parental influence. Some of this is hormone related, and some may be thought of as part of the maturation process through the teen years into adulthood. How we interact with children from this age and beyond will be different than our interactions with the little guys. And this impacts many things, not just their ability to listen. So how do we help our middle schoolers be more willing to listen? First, as parents, take notice of your interactions with your middle schoolers. When they talk, are you actively listening? You may find it helpful to step back from what you are doing to actively listen. Pay attention to body language, your tone of voice, and theirs, and any words. If you're working from home, maybe schedule a time in your day to connect. Have you ever noticed that some children suddenly decide to dump all of their cares on you at bedtime? Is it possible that this is the only time you are undistracted to really listen? This was the case for my son when he was about 12. It took a few weeks for my husband and I to realize that our son had been trying to talk throughout the day, but we were just too distracted to see his attempts. For me, I thought, I am with him all day, and all he does is ramble on and on about stuff. Why does he need to talk now? Doesn't he know it's bedtime? It was definitely an aha moment when I realized that my son was talking, but I wasn't listening. Active listening is only part of the equation. Often when our kiddos share their feelings or their struggles, we are quick to offer a fix. Mom, Dad, they don't always need a fix. Often they simply need to process out loud and be supported. Ask questions of your children, but don't challenge them. Encourage them to identify solutions to their problems. Think of it as training for adulthood. Which brings us to listening struggles with our older kids. How do we get our teenagers to listen to us? Active listening and problem-solving conversations are essential for them as well. Teens also benefit from being a part of the decision-making process. Considering a science program, show them a couple of options and let them choose one that appeals to them. By involving them in the decision-making, they are often less resistant to the day-in and day-out assignments. Now that we have discussed some cons, let's take a look at the pros. While there are many benefits to homeschooling, I want to focus on 3 common ones. First are the emotional benefits. I am grouping several things into one because they all look at the emotional and spiritual health of our children. If your child struggles with depression and anxiety, personal testimonies and emerging research supports that home learning is best for part or all of their K-12 educational years. Parents can supervise learning, monitor peer interactions, and help children learn appropriate coping skills in a way that a classroom teacher is not able to. Being involved in their day-to-day may also help you notice more subtle signs that your child may need supportive counseling. Not only are you more aware, but you're also more interested in seeing your child succeed in all areas of life, not just passing the grade. Another aspect of the depression and anxiety discussion is the tragic increase in bullying. Removing your child from a potentially dangerous situation protects their emotional and physical health. Another positive is the ability to meet your child's educational needs. Earlier, I mentioned the blessing of having children on opposite sides of the learning curve. Part of the reason we made the decision to homeschool our oldest was the encouragement of her kindergarten teacher. She helped us see that continuing in a traditional school model would potentially hold her back. When we brought her home, we were able to allow her to move at her own pace through required subjects and provide plenty of opportunity to learn more deeply the things she was interested in. On the flip side, with my son, we were able to repeat lessons, reteach concepts in a different way, and allow plenty of excess energy breaks. Basically, whatever he needed to learn, not just memorize and pass the test, but truly learn. Meeting the needs of individual children is probably the greatest benefit to homeschooling, in my opinion. Finally, homeschooling puts you in control of you and your child's schedule. We know life happens whether you're homeschooling or a child is in a traditional school. Homeschooling offers flexibility so you can deal with whatever life brings. I know families who successfully homeschool while caring for elderly parents and grandparents or a family member with a chronic illness. Homeschooling also allows flexibility to be together as a family. If a parent is working an odd schedule, for example, in a hospital or emergency medical services, or is an over-the-road truck driver, you can create a learning schedule that allows for family time when everyone is back together. You also have more free time to pursue outside the classroom interests. However, as you look at interests outside the classroom, if you have a child interested in team sports, be sure to check with your local school district. States and sometimes the local school districts within a state vary on the acceptance of homeschool children on sports teams, and this may become a con for you if your organized sports are a high priority in your family. But there are many other options for children to pursue their interests outside of your home. Music lessons, speech and/or debate clubs, art lessons, and other youth-focused programs are easily found through a Google search or connection with other homeschool parents. Don't forget the opportunity that may be found through your personal connections. Mentorships and apprenticeships in farming, woodworking may be found, just to name a few. While many more homeschool pros and cons can be identified, I hope this list provided a starting point for discussion with your spouse and your older children. I would encourage you to create your own list. Let's move on to some most commonly asked questions. While you may have many more questions than this, and we are happy to answer your specific questions, let's walk through 3 frequent questions that we hear. First, what subjects do I need to teach? The subjects you need to teach will depend on your specific state laws and requirements. A great resource for this is the Homeschool Legal Defense Association. Their website is hslda.org. Many state homeschool organizations also offer this information online. Generally speaking, there are 4 subjects that need covered regardless of the state you live in: math, language arts or English, science, and history, or sometimes called social studies. Other states may have additional required subjects like citizenship or fine arts. Be sure to check with your specific state. Second, is homeschooling curriculum accredited, or is the Rainbow curriculum accredited? Accreditation is a term that applies to institutions like brick and mortar or virtual schools. Here at Rainbow, we provide curriculum options from a vast number of publishers and do not provide teaching or grading. Because of this, accreditation does not apply to us or the curriculum that we carry. Finally, will my children be able to go back to school? This is a great question, one that shows the thought process of today's needs in light of future needs. If you are planning to homeschool short-term, you may wish to continue using the same or similar curriculum as the school, especially in math and language arts. We would be happy to help you find the best option. Children have successfully entered or re-entered the school system from a homeschool environment. Thank you for joining me today. As we conclude our time together, I want to leave you with 3 things that I consider the most important to remember as you consider a homeschool journey. First, let go of the perfect. There is no perfect curriculum or schedule, no one-size-fits-all. Homeschooling is fluid. You will need to identify priorities, follow any state guidelines, and create the educational journey that your children need. And we are here to help. Second, you are a family first. As your children grow, your role changes from more direct parent involvement in the preschool and elementary years to guidance counselor in the high school years. But you are always their parent, and building a relationship with your children is vital. Third, you can do this. This journey has been successfully made by hundreds of thousands of parents before you, and countless more will follow. Oftentimes, it's easy to think you are alone in this journey, especially on the hard days. And yes, they happen. Look around. Connect with local friends or an online community for support. We are here as well. Our team of consultants are available to help you navigate through the less than ideal days. Whether you need to supplement or change curriculum, or you just need to take a deep breath and continue pressing forward, we are here to listen and help you stay the course. Thank you for joining me. We are here for you. Call us at 888-841-3456 or email consultants@rainbowresource.com. You can also live chat with us on our website during our normal business hours, Monday through Friday, 8:30 a.m. to 5 p.m. Central Time.